It's a beautiful day out in the garden today. The American elderberry is really looking pretty today. It is starting to develop berries, but it still has a lot of blooms. And over here, we've got some blooms really starting to go off. The butterfly weed is looking really pretty. Mixed with the Gaura. I think it's really lovely together. I've got some ironweed that I need to remove from underneath the butterfly weed because it just gets too tall. The butterfly weed stays really short, so I'll need to remove the ironweed from there. I have plenty of it though, so don't worry about that. And then this area is my new little prairie section that I've added, and I added it a few months ago, and it's growing very slowly, but I've got mountain mint, partridge pea, bergamot, purple coneflower, violets, probably a couple other Gaura, a couple things like that. Just basically trying to extend this prairie bed this way, because this used to have a lot of non-natives here, and it didn't go with the rest of the bed, and I wanted it to be fully prairie. I've got some little seedlings. Need to water some of these today, so I will be doing that shortly. I've got purple coneflowers, bergamot, strawberry, sneezeweed, and Indian grass. A lot of partridge peas coming up over here. A lot. And I'm just letting it do its thing. It's underneath the verbena here. And we've got purple coneflower everywhere, and I really like that because that attracts the swallowtail butterflies. And so when that starts to bloom, we should see a lot more swallowtails. But this elderberry is just gorgeous right now. And it smells really good. And the berries are going to be really pretty, and the birds love the berries. Here's some of the berries starting right here. Very small right now and still green. But before you know it, they'll be a dark purple, almost black in color. Here's that non-native spirea. It's starting to be done. I've got some more Gaura. I think Gaura is really pretty. And then Lanceleaf Coreopsis is, of course, beautiful. It's a little bit bright out here. Here's a bunch of ironweed. Look at that guy. Whoops. He's already gone. some Penstemon. I think this is Penstemon digitalis. I think. And forgot to mention the passion vine. I luckily have one right there. Right there. Coming up right next to my arbor, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I need. And over here is the black cherry tree, which is a number 2 Keystone species where I live, meaning it hosts a lot of our butterflies and moths, including the eastern tiger swallowtail butterfly and red-spotted purple. So that's a good tree to have, and it's also going to be providing us with a lot of shade as it grows. And then over here I've got eastern redbud mixed with American plum, eastern red cedar, which I'm going to keep trimmed, otherwise it would get huge, and another American elderberry, and it's looking gorgeous right now. I planted the American elderberry and the plums together before I read that they really don't like to grow together, and so I didn't know that. Right now they're fine, but I don't know if over the years one is going to outcompete the other. But my goal was to create a thicket, because this is habitat hedge, and I wanted this end to kind of be like an edge of the woods thicket. And it really is exactly what I was going for, so I'm excited about that. But then over here we've got frostflower, and we've got American beautyberry. This beautyberry unfortunately has a lot of dieback in it this year. I don't know why. You can kind of see it in the bottom left section there. I need to cut that out. I'm not really sure what's up with it. It's just not happy this year. Every other year it's done really, really well. It would get chewed by bunnies when I first planted it, but other than that it was fine. But then next to it is a button bush. Now it's a short cultivar button bush, so it's not the straight species, but it's still really cool, and it's getting, the blooms are starting right now. The blooms are starting on it right now. You can see the little ball there, and there's several of those starting. And I didn't think my Joe Pye was coming up, but it is. It's just kind of hidden back there. It's right there. The frost flower has really spread, and so that's why I can't really see it as much. But yeah, we're getting the button bush is starting to bloom. Some of the echinacea is starting to bloom. This is a red chokeberry that I just planted a few months ago. A friend gave me. So that's what that is. We've got obedient plant here. It is getting some spots from something, but we just leave that kind of thing. And it has some new leaves that look good, so I think it's going to be fine. Got some non-natives in there like daylilies and irises. There are some sedges here. Just brightening it so you can see. So under this Eastern Redbud, we have ironweed, frostweed, spiderwort. We have some Carolina cranesbill. And there's the spiderwort, which is really pretty. If I can focus on it. And then we also have this echinacea, which is blooming right now. It's Echinacea purpurea. And it's blooming right underneath this redbud tree. So it can handle a little bit of shade. Okay. Moving on to this area that we seeded. I know it looks very messy at the moment, but there are a lot of seedlings in here. There's blanket flower, there's rudbeckia, there are asters, frost flowers. There might be some purple coneflower, but I'm not 100% sure. And I have my Carolina jessamine vine is spreading, so I should be able to clip a piece of this off. It should be rooting, hopefully, within a month or two. And I should be able to basically propagate that. And this is our brand new area. This is called, we call it Eastwick for now. It's the east side of the garden. And it's brand new. So what it's currently made of are first some plums, 2 American plums. There are some non-native things in here temporarily, like daylilies and irises. And you'll recall from earlier in the video that I moved some non-natives from the Prairie area. This is where I moved them to, because I wanted more prairie plants in the raised bed. And I wanted almost no non-natives up there. So I moved the non-natives over here for now until this fills in. And as this fills in over time, we can get rid of the daylilies. Daylilies are about to bloom right now. They probably love being in this spot. You can see the buds starting on those. But really the way that I garden is I just... Oh, the camera shut off. Well, anyway, the way I garden is I just think of everything as temporary if it's not native. And except for maybe like a few exceptions. And so the non-natives are just kind of temporary until I get some natives in here. These are pink evening primroses, and I just call those native enough. I think they're native near me, but not to my county, I think. I always get confused about that. I've got asters in here that just came up on their own actually, and I transplanted them from another spot. And we planted a bunch of native grasses in here. So we planted some switchgrass, which gets tall, so we put that at the back. We planted some side oats grama, however you say it, in the middle. And we planted some pink muley grass in the front with some pale purple coneflower with it. I think the pale purple coneflower in front of the muley grass will be really pretty. I've got butterfly weed here in these spots here. And yes, this took a lot of work. Dug up a lot of weeds out of here to put these natives in. And then I've got Tennessee coneflower here, here, and there. And I have Canada wild ryegrasses in here. So this is full of native grasses, a few native wildflowers, American plum, and some non-native things like daylilies and irises, along with some native asters that are already really tall. Like this one is about as tall as the fence already, which our fence is 4 feet. So, moving on. Over here we have wild bergamot, mountain mint, late purple aster, which is not blooming yet. The purple that you see is a non-native called Verbena bonariensis, and I love it because the butterflies love it. Lanceleaf Coreopsis. The mountain mint I might need to uncover a little bit. I have the older stems laying on itself. I've got some Penstemon back there, which I think is Penstemon digitalis, foxglove beard tongue. And we've got a Washington hawthorne tree here. And it's been bending because of all the wind lately. Hopefully it will still grow decently. I will most likely have to trim the bottom branches of this tree because I want it to grow. I want to limb it up. I want to grow things under it. So you can see it has really low branches right here. So I'm going to be trimming the low branches off so that it can be a limbed up tree right here. And then I have a ton of common milkweed right in the front. And I think common milkweed is beautiful even when it's not blooming. And something eats the blooms off of mine, so I don't usually get to enjoy the blooms. They start and then they just get chomped. I don't know if monarch caterpillars eat the blooms or if something else eats the blooms, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. And then we've got this beautiful stand of butterfly weed. It's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I basically have butterfly weed wherever I can put it. It's starting to bloom here too. I've got some new plants here. I added Salvia coccinea, like there, and aromatic asters in there between the common milkweed. I was tempted to pull a couple of those common milkweeds so the aromatic asters could have more sun, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I do have a lot of common milkweed. I don't think I'm going to run out anytime soon. Fun fact about common milkweed, I planted one of these, and I grew it from seed indoors, which I struggled. I couldn't get like a lot. I had other seedlings that died, so only one survived. I planted it here, and it spread. So common milkweed will spread a lot, and it spreads by underground rhizomes. This is a grass that I don't know if it's native or not. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments, because I don't want to get rid of it if it's native, but if it's invasive, I need to get rid of it because it's clearly spreading and happy. So if it's invasive, let me know. But it's very velvety down at the bottom. I'll try to get you some footage of that. It's very soft right here, very velvety, very hairy. And it's got hairs on the leaves too. And this is what the little seed pods look like. Little flowers, seeds, whatever. Very pretty, right? But what if it's invasive? I don't know what that is. Let me know. But it seems to be happy in just certain areas. Like, it loves this spot. And, sorry for the quick sweep. It loves this area over here. Like, it really loves this area here next to the rain garden. And it loves that area over there, past the elderberry. So, and that's like the edge of the property. So I don't really know what that is, but it popped up among my plants. Under the Eastern red cedar, I've got some ebony spleenwort back there. Look at that. Get a look at that ebony spleenwort. You know, I also have columbine. I have pink evening primrose. I have mayaples that are going dormant. I have oak leaf hydrangea. And then I have like, I forget what this is called. It's a native anemone, right? Tall thimbleweed. What is it called? Thimble. You can see the little thimble. If I zoom out just a little bit, there you go. That's going to be the seed head, and it's going to have like these soft, almost like cottony looking pieces to it, but this is what the leaves look like. Anyway. But yeah, there's the redbud tree, which I love. And yes, I have a crepe myrtle. I've talked about it in multiple videos. I planted it before I knew about native versus non-native. I probably thought it was native back in the day before I did my extensive research on native plants and butterflies and all that. But yeah, I have a lot of rudbeckia over here at the moment, asters. I have this non-native this time. And I have some partridge pea in here. More rudbeckia. I have some dill, which is not focused. There we go. I have some dill here, which sometimes I get the black swallowtail caterpillars on it, but I don't see them right now. And pink evening primrose. I think they're called pink ladies. And then got a bunch of partridge pea down there. Like a lot of partridge pea. Which is good, because partridge pea is a beautiful plant in drifts. And it spreads really well. But it's an annual, so it's not going to stay like in the same spot forever. So it's not going to be, even though it spreads really well, it doesn't take over. And the butterflies love it, the bees love it. And it produces those little seed pods that the birds love. There's the east end of habitat hedge right now. Got arborvitaes. The cypress is not native, the yellow evergreen. We've got Carolina jessamine on the fence, Virginia creeper, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you all today. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! You all requested it, and it's finally here. Reduce Your Lawn shirts are now available in my brand new merch shop. Thanks so much for supporting the wildlife habitat we're creating. To support the channel, like the video, comment, and subscribe. You can also support my work by buying art from me at macylu.com. Thanks for watching!